if I didn't get this operation, I might literally die. It's been 1 year since I had a hysterectomy. 1 year since I had my entire reproductive system removed. 1 year that I have lived without the pain of fibroids, endometriosis, and severe anemia. For years, I'd been suffering in silence and a lot of pain as my body started to attack itself because of the tumors, the fibroids that lived on the outside of my uterus. It had gotten to the point where my uterus was the shape of a light bulb, and it was pressing on my bladder and causing me to bleed constantly. To the point where my hemoglobin levels had gotten to a 5.2, which for women is pretty fatal. There's a lot of anxiety that I felt whenever I would be in public or travel or during that time of the month, have to be around other people, because so often it meant shielding my pain or being embarrassed about how any moment there might be a gush or heavy flow of blood, of pain, of all of these experiences, and that really affected my mental health in many ways. That affected my relationships, that affected my decisions of what I would do for fun. It affected my professional life and my schedule of always having to schedule around those 4 to 7 days that week when I didn't know how much pain my body would be in. And after years of going through 6 rounds of blood transfusions, over 3 hospital visits, there was a point where I was done. I wanted a change, and I decided to do it. My process was pretty complex. I had a few doctors who initially were not willing to actually go through with the surgery for me. They weren't willing to operate. They wanted to have more non-invasive methods first, and I tried one. I tried to be open-minded about it and go for the Depo-Provera shot, and it actually made all of my symptoms worse. I was in excruciating pain. I was nauseous and vomiting, waking up in the middle of the night in night sweats, and in sickness. And I knew from that experience that I couldn't just keep trying to fight this away or keep being hospitalized and getting blood transfusion after blood transfusion to renew or restore the blood that was being lost every month. And at some point, I just knew that if I didn't get this operation, I might literally die. My hemoglobin levels stayed at such a low that I was in many ways a walking zombie, and I would use energy drinks and candy and sugar to help me find some type of energy, because I was tired all the time and still trying to perform at my top level as a designer, as a public speaker. And that just got exhausting as a process, and it was the best decision for me to do what I needed in order to live the life, the type of life that I wanted, a liberating life, a pain-free life, and one that allowed me to be my best self and to show up in space fully energized. And so July 10th was the life-changing day in my life. Today is the day. It's time for surgery. I went into surgery with my grandmother there to support me. You ready, Grandma?
Take care, yeah.
Sweet deal.
Bye.
Grandma, this is my first time ever really being in the hospital outside of blood transfusions.
Right.
And so
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. I'll admit that.
I know you are.
It's mainly about the logistics. I want to know all the details of how it all works. All right, got my hat and my gown. Let's get into it. Oh yeah. Love you too, Mom. I hope you have fun in New Orleans. And when I came out of surgery, I was a new person, and everything is going well, and my vitals are good, my body's good, I don't feel as much pain. I can leave today, which is great. All right, friends. I am almost ready to get discharged from the hospital. I'm walking, I'm using the restroom. I just haven't had breakfast, and so they want to see me eat without getting nauseous. So I'm gonna try to do that and keep going from there. Just got discharged, and now Grandma and I are about to go home. Yes. I'm so ready. I can sleep in my own bed, or I guess in my case, my own couch. I would say that like over the last year, the healing process has been so rewarding. I had 6 to 8 weeks of recovery, and during those first 6 weeks, I literally slept and sat and lied on my couch reading books. All right, today is day 4 of recovery, and I've mainly been sitting right here on my couch, laid out, camped out for the last few days, but I'm up, I'm able to walk, which is good, but everything just still kind of hurts, but walking helps a lot. So I'm like doing laps around my house, and I'm hoping that like if friends come over, maybe someone will help me walk outside because I need to take out my trash, all of those things. I tend to get a bit winded, mainly because one of the medicines, which is Percocet, it affects my breathing, and so it's like I can move around slowly, but I get tired while walking very fast. But I'm gonna make it, and at some point I'm gonna clean up my office and get some things done, pack some things up, but not today. I'm tired. And some of the books that I read included Pleasure Activism by Adrienne Maree Brown, and All About Love by Bell Hooks, and so many other titles and articles that really allowed me to reaffirm my womanhood even without having reproductive organs, and stand firm in my decision and find a new path towards self-love, self-care, and self-worth as a woman. And 2 weeks before my recovery was over, I actually ended up moving to Cambridge, Massachusetts as a Loeb Fellow at Harvard. And I timed the surgery specifically so that I could experience this year and this opportunity without the constant pain, without the worry about, am I going to be able to physically keep up with being on campus and walking around and staying engaged and giving lectures and participating in crits. And thankfully, I had a blast. I didn't feel any pain throughout this past year, and anchoring it within this, very transformative experience was something that I would remember the most. And even a year later, I feel great. I don't regret it. I don't miss those organs. I just appreciate being able to have a pain-free life and be able to go day to day without the anxiety and the stress that I was feeling for all of these years of suffering in silence and navigating with chronic pain. And so, I just wanted to take a moment and reflect on this, because I know that there are so many other women out there, many who I've met over the last year, who are also having these same challenges with their bodies. And I want to keep the conversation going. I want us to be able to communicate and share with each other online, in person, in community, about these issues, so that the healing process is something that is not just individual but collective. So if you have been going through these issues, let me know. Send me a message. Let's start a conversation about it. And if you are just curious about what the process entailed, let me know that too. I am super open to talking about it, and maybe I'll share in a few more videos what some of those other details of the process has been like. So yeah, cheers to 1 year, and cheers to continuously having new beginnings, and cheers to always discovering new parts of ourselves and new parts of our bodies.